Welcome to my kitchen. We are going to have such a very good time today. We are going to make strawberry shortcake. We're going to make it as a sheet cake, which is kind of all the rage right now. And we're going to make it the biscuit way. Yep, I'm team biscuit. My husband is team shortbread or angel food cake, but I like the biscuit form. And what we're going to do is we're going to make it on a little quarter sheet pan here, where we can serve a lot of people at once. So it's really simple. So what we're going to start with is cake flour. Now you're asking me, Karen, what's the difference between cake flour and all-purpose flour? Well, a cake flour is going to be a flour that has a little less gluten in it. It also is going to have a lower protein, which is going to make more of a tender type of tasting cake. Let's start with this. We're going to take 1.5 sticks of unsalted butter that is very, very cold. That is the key. You want it to be very cold because we're going to crumble this in. I like to use my food processor. It's just quicker. As I'm going to put in my flour, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of baking powder. Here's my tablespoon measure. 1 tablespoon and then 2 teaspoons additional of baking powder. And then I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of kosher salt. 1, 2, and now we're going to add 2/3 cup of granulated sugar to the swimming pool. Now we're going to just pulse it. Okay, now that everything is all put together here in the food processor, we're going to put it into a large bowl to do our mixing. So here we go. Now we have to add the wet to this. So the wet we're going to use is buttermilk. So when you're using buttermilk, you always want to shake it up because all kind of the solid, thick part of buttermilk goes to the bottom. So we're going to use 1 1/4 cups of buttermilk. But before we do that, this is my secret. This is what my mom did. She would put, I would say, she never measured anything, but like 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon whenever she made biscuits for our strawberry shortcake. It just, I don't know, it's just a thing my mom did, and it just reminds me of her. So that's how I do it. So what I do is I just take it, and you just want to fold it over on itself. You don't want to work it too much. I'm going to take my hands and I'm going to just press this out and work it all to the corners, and then we're going to pop it in the oven at 450 degrees and let this cook for about 20 minutes or until golden brown. But before you pop this in, make sure and brush it with either milk, but if you have whipping cream, that's even better. And then I sprinkle it with a little cinnamon sugar and put it in the oven. Well, our biscuits are totally cooled and they are ready now for us to get it all put together. This is my favorite part, plus it means we get to eat it here in a second. So it's really simple. I've got our whipped cream, and so I put that on top. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take some of these delicious strawberries. See how juicy they got just by that honey and that lemon juice. So I'm gonna drain off some of the juice, and then I'm just taking that and I'm putting them all over the top. So this is a really great thing to make. And that's it, guys. It's all done. That is delicious, guys.